Fun fact, I'm supposed to be a nurse. Not to be stereotypical to every Filipino out there, but yeah,
It's clean.
it's all right. It's because I haven't went off recently.
S2000 versus E36.
E36 M3. Now these cars usually came with an S50, but this car has an S52. So we hit Titan 7 up, and it's like, hey man, these are the specs. This needs to clear, I think it was like a StopTech ST40 or ST60 at times. So that's the way I had designed it. I'm only there for the photos. That's all it is.
What's up, guys? We're here with Cecil. Perez. You do have a beautiful E36 M3.
That's questionable.
Well, I think it's really good looking. Let's start with your lap time.
This car is 157s. I've been Willow with me driving. Not great, but I know it could go faster. That was on the older setup. So the older setup at the time, I haven't driven in a while, but the old setup at the time was running AST one-ways. I had smaller aero. Pretty much it. I ran that for, I don't know, 6-7 years. Recently I just put on some AST two-ways, stiffer spring rates, bigger aero, and we'll see what happens this fall. If I happen to, I should be able to sub 155 this car.
How did you get into cars?
My first car was actually an AP1 S2K I bought off my cousin. Wasn't running, so I redid the wiring harness on that one, and then sold it back to him because then I was just a kid out of high school and didn't know how to drive. Literally just got my license, like no driving experience whatsoever. Then I bought an E36 convertible, 323i, 2.5 liter, and then from there it's like I would just wrench on a few cars with Ryan, whatever car he had at the time, and he would teach me a few things. And you know, with our group of friends, you just learn through all that, and you experience all these new things and you apply it to everything else. So that's how pretty much I got into it. It wasn't boring.
Okay.
Fun fact, I'm supposed to be a nurse. Not to be stereotypical to every Filipino out there, but yeah, I just needed to take the exam and I could have finished, but I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't have the patience for that.
All right, so you became a full-time mechanic and business owner.
Yeah, I wouldn't say mechanic. Just saying, you know, I know my way around, but I wouldn't call myself a mechanic in any way, shape, or form. But
okay.
I'm down to help out as best as I can. You know, because we all just want to help each other out on and off the track.
Let's show the car. Walk us through it.
So it's a 1995. That's so weird. 1995. It's a 95 E36 M3. Now these cars usually came with an S50, but this car has an S52. But obviously when we pop the hood, it'll look like an S50 because S50 valve cover, but it is an S52. It was swapped by a buddy of ours because it blew the motor. Typical track day stuff, you know.
Yeah, I see a splitter. I guess we can start with the splitter.
So starting from the front of the car, it's just your standard, I think it's like 6 or 7 mil aluminum splitter. I made I guess I fabricated the mounts for it. So yeah, the way it comes off is the factory 4 nuts in the front and the whole bumper and splitter come off at one piece. To get in my driveway or get on a ramp or whatever, get towed. It's easy, super easy.
Tunnel underneath it?
Yeah, there's tunnels on it. The tunnels and the end plates are 3D printed, designed by a friend of mine, and he's like, hey, let's just make something. So yeah, that's what he came up with. I was like, all right, cool, kind of works.
Cool design.
I don't know, I'm not fast enough to know if these shit works. It just looks cool, that's all it is.
You're being modest.
Yeah, hot boy shit. That's why the car is unnecessarily like low than it should be. You know,
it looks better lower.
It looks better lower, you know, and you know, people don't believe me, but that's okay. I tell people just like lower, just go a little bit lower. Like, no! From top, some vents, and then those were on there probably about 7 years ago now.
Okay.
Roundels, we used to make the BMW roundels. Ryan used to make BMW roundels back in the day, so I have one of the old ones.
Nice.
But now kids these days are like saying it's like, yeah, kids these days are saying like, oh man, you have the new roundel. It's like, I was like, no. This was around before you guys were born. Man, I sound like a freaking dick right now.
This is
our good friend Charbel.
Yeah.
Alien Motorsport. It was a process in the making, and initially had a smaller one similar to what's on the Dakar Yellow STC rental. Let's make a bigger one. And he's like, all right. So it alleviates the the side turn signal, which is cool. Don't need anyway. BMW's drivers don't use turn signals, so it's cool. Yeah, and it works. I think it works. You know, rock shit out. It's cool whenever I go off, so that's cool. You know, there's more to this, more to come with this. I know Charbel's making another one for the bottom end, so it'll be one piece. We made something for Bailey's car. We bent the fender in and whatnot, but I was being lazy. I just did this. I didn't want to do the work for that.
I see a giant wing.
Yeah, this is the RS Future LM wing, designed and built by our really good family friends. Everyone knows him, Amir. Shout out to you, dog. Just tossed on big end plates because why not? It'll probably be too much, but it looks cool. So being the first gen design, man, I wish I washed this car. Being the first gen design, the mounts are a little bit different than the new ones. The new ones are more integrated, which I think is a really cool design. But this works, hasn't failed on me, so can't complain. And carbon wing stands, Amir, because Amir said so. And it looks cool. So yeah, straightforward, whatnot. It's a little beat up, but that's okay.
What about the diffuser?
The diffuser is I think it's from MCA or MKAH Motorsports. Back when they first started making diffusers, I was like, hey, you know, can I get one for my car? And they're like, yeah, just toss it in your car and test it out. I'm like, it does things. I can tell you that. It's slightly on the heavy side, that might take it off, but the cool thing about it is when my exhaust hanger broke, my diffuser held it up, so I drove it home. Pretty tight.
That's aluminum?
That's aluminum, yeah.
Okay.
SDC.
Yeah.
SDC.
What about the wheels?
So we're really good friends with our guys at Tine 7, and as long as a friend of ours in the Bay Area at the time, we wanted to design an E36 wheel. So we hit Tine 7 up, and it's like, hey man, these are the specs. This needs to clear, I think it was like a StopTech ST40 or ST60 at times. So that's the way I had designed it. Tine 7 pulled through, and now we have this. This is one of the original ones where it used to be gray, one of the first ones they ever made. So I had these hand polished, not triple chromed. But they're hand polished to get the little, you know, hot boy.
Yeah, looks good.
All my wheels, other extra wheels that I have are all Tine 7. 17 by 9.5 plus 35. Tossed on some AO52, so we'll see what happens. Never really ran AO52s on this car. Usually been running some other tires, whatever I can get.
Looks like you're running 245 in the front.
So I'm running 245s all around.
Really? Okay.
This is a 17 by 9.5 plus 35. I do have a 20 mil spacer on there. It's not necessary. I just did it because one day I accidentally pulled the fender too far and I didn't like the way it looked, so I just put 20 mil on there. But it helps with suspension clearance theoretically.
Okay.
Well, not theoretically, literally. But it's a 245 4017 because everyone knows AO52s run wide, RE7 RS, Nexons, Nenkang CRS, they all run wide. So, but 245 4017, they do make a 255 4017, but it puts the sidewall too tall, and that makes my car a monster truck. So no, let's not do that.
What about the brake setup and the pad?
The brakes I'm currently running this car is a Porsche 996 brake caliper up front. Before the previous owner, I got these from Steve at EAS, and he switched to a new Brembo kit, so I took it off his car. I wish it still said Porsche on it.
How do you even change it?
Just recaliper, repaint.
Oh, okay.
You strip it and then you add the logos and stuff.
I see.
Got to run our own stuff, so motors for hardware, wheel studs, wheel spacers to keep the wheels on safe. And that's an E36 M3, I think it's a 345 or 355 mil rotor. You can't have sunken in wheels. It doesn't look good.
Gotta look good. That's rule number one.
Look good first, go fast later.
I think you mentioned suspension briefly.
Yes.
What are you running?
Suspension on this car are AST 5200s because they are the two-ways. So I haven't really played too much with the two-ways on my own car since the first time, but I played with other two-way suspensions on customers' cars, friends' cars. So we'll see how this car does. It's all dialed in, and right now it's not dialed in, but we'll see what happens on track.
What spring rates do you have on it now?
Front spring rate I'm currently running is 12K, and the rear spring rates I'm running 14K. I used to run 10K, 12K with no aero.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
All right. Let's pop the hood. Nice. It's clean.
It's all right. It's because I haven't went off recently. So here I have, like I said initially in the beginning, if Peter crops this in, but this car does have an S52 in it, but it is still the S50 or the S50 magnesium valve cover. Why? Because why not? I have extras of it, so I might as well use it. And then that way everything just plumbs in nicely.
I don't know these engines too well. What's the difference between S50 and S52?
So S52 came from late model 96 to 99. They had a 3.2 liter inline six. S50s came with 3.0. This one's a 3.2, has cams on it, has a built bottom end and full Super Tech valves, valve train, top end, normal headwork stuff, port and polish and whatnot.
The head is interchangeable between.
So the head, the S50, S52, M50, M52, they're all the same head.
Gotcha.
The head, they're all the same. And then just this head has dual valve springs, the bigger, I think it's like 6 or 7 mil, like oversized valve shaft thingies. And then last time the valve dropped, so I was like, you know what, let's just build this head. It's just always revving up there. So yeah, it's a built motor, strict cams. Unfortunately, the car it only does like 240-ish horsepower, maybe 250. I can't remember last time I dynoed it, but it was around 240, 250-ish, and about 240, 250 torque. So it's usually it's like 1-to-1 on it.
Okay. What's the red line?
82.
82. Wow.
Yeah, I don't go that high. I usually shift around just above 7.
Gotcha.
There's no more power up there anyway.
Yeah.
So, but with the aim dash, I can control that. So AC two-ways, custom 3D printed mounts.
Yeah, I like those. RCU.
Yeah.
That's neat.
It's nice to have some really talented friends that's also interested in cars, are into cars, and they make their own cool shit. You know? One does 3D printing for me and designing. Amir makes good wings. I have we have friends at Tyneset, AST, and people are just really talented. You know, I'm just like, man, it's good to be like in this small group of circle. It's like because like we all help each other out, which derives us to why we have Race Shop now. Because Ryan and I are like, you know, let's do something. We have enough knowledge and skill and to build something. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So we try to offer our services to help everyone out, and now we have a race shop. It's fun. It's a humbling experience. It's tiring but humbling.
What else you got going on here? I see a sway bar.
So these sway bars on the car are the very old Turner Motorsport front and rear sway bars. I think like 30 mil front, like 24 mil rear. That was, I think, before Ground Control came out with their sway bars. It was the biggest sway bar you can get back in the day. You know, some people don't even run rear sway bars. You know, just rely on the suspension. But yeah, and then this car is like gone through every nook and cranny of every possible E36 problem. You know, cooling systems, like oil leaks random there, but it's pretty much most stuff.
Okay. Speaking of cooling system, what radiator is that?
So that's one of the older CSF aluminum. They call it their race radiators, race aluminum radiators. I think I can do like a full 30-minute session at like I'd say about 90 to 100 degrees, and water temp is still below 200. So I'm like chilling.
Nice.
Cool. Vents help. You know.
Yeah.
It's come out, and in front of that, there's no AC in this car. The front of that has a big 14-row set drive oil cooler, which actually oil temps actually stay pretty cool too. You know, typical E36 like problems. Why not? 3.5-inch MAF, like normal. Bigger throttle body. These are lines for oil temp, oil pressures, and then water temps right there. They all connect to the PDM, which goes to the aim dash. I kept blowing heads on this thing. It's like either me or like a friend will do it, drive the car. I'm like, head's gone. I was like, well then.
What ECU do you have?
It's just your factory 413 red label ECU with a active AutoWorks chip. But ideally, I need to run standalone though. But yeah, that's just an old school thing where you call the company, you tell them what parts are on the car, and they send you a chip and you put it in the car.
I remember that.
Yeah, this is how it is. It still works, runs great, runs fine.
Yeah.
I think it needs a retune at this point, but I'll probably do standalone.
As far as brake goes, is it all stock?
All the brakes, the brake booster, ABS, and all that's all stock.
Okay.
95 M3s have crappy ABS, 3-channel ABS line because it's 95. 96 ups, they had 4 channels, so it's much better. But so far I had no problems. Okay. Oh, which goes back to brakes, which I didn't include in the first part. I'm running PFC 08 pads front. Oh no, PFC 11 pads front and then PFC 08 rear. Why? Because at that time when I was trying to get pads, they were out of stock on the 08s in the front, so I just went PFC 11s front, and so far it's fine.
Yeah. It lasts a while too.
I'm slow, so I don't brake hard enough, need enough brakes to use it. So
well, if you're not using brake, you're fast, right?
Or just not going fast enough. I'm only there for the photos, that's all it is. I'm just being honest with you. Just to show I went to the track.
I missed this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just factory sunroof that back then I just cut it. I removed the hole on her bottom and then welded it
Oh,
That's it.
Nice.
That's
okay.
all it is.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
And I would imagine these are not that much heavier than like fiberglass, right? Yeah.
No, it's not worth it. And you could keep the factory paint color instead of having to paint it again. It's all factory paint minus the trunk. And then obviously holographic fucking windshield banners. Yeah, just hot boy shit. Needs to match the wheels, you know, shiny shit.
All right, let's.
This is a show car now. It's not a track car. I just go to Cars and Coffee.
Ooh, like that.
These are OG, old school set. These are for Condor Speed Shop. They don't make these anymore. And it's only one of the few companies that can cover the little tabs here. If you're an E36 owner, you know there are tabs here where the panel clips in, but I do that so it covers it, so I can lean on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And me being lazy, just self-tapped it in.
Is this is plastic,
ABS.
huh? Oh wow.
Molded ABS. Wrinkled molded ABS.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, looks nice.
Yeah, chilling. Self-tapped, you know, because it's easy.
No one has time
if I have
for,
to fix my window regulators, you know, it's just easier. I don't want to rivet it. Makes more work for me.
All right, what do we have going on inside?
Not much going on there. It's stripped as could possibly get. Still has like some minor wiring harness needs to strip out, but Charbel, Lean Motorsport floor plate. Why? Because it's one of the most robust, and it's actually designed really well where it doesn't flex in the middle as soon as you get in. Pretty cool, like that. And it's dimple dyed, so that's cool too. OMP carbon HTR seat. HTR? HTR. HTE seat. That's an old seat too.
It's carbon.
Carbon, yeah. The brackets are Machinel. The slider is Machinel, Florence Machinel. I modified it a bit because if you're an E36 owner, you know if you mount those things, the mount for the seat to the wheel is never straight. It's always like to the left. So I modified it a bit to go inwards. So now it's centered. That's it. Just pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A lot of cutting.
The center of this is lined up to the center of this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, because that's always a problem with the E36. Going up, we have a renowned steering wheel with, so thank you, Scott, for that one. And then Ren line quick release with a shorty hub.
Yeah. Nice.
Man, if I have a lot of red and blue in here, I just need to add a little more yellow and you get the Philippines flag. Car's already white, so. And moving up, I do have a PDM08 dash on there, oil temps, oil pressures, water temps. It's programmable, like you know most AIM dashes, and it shows me lap times and data. Behind it, it's just your factory E36 dash that I changed overlays on. Nothing special behind it. I only use it because I use it for the fuel gauge. Because in order for you to put the fuel gauge on the AIM, you have to program it manually,
right.
like 1 gallon, and then calibrate it, another gallon, calibrate it. I'm just like, that still works.
But what about the shifter?
Shifter is the Hard Motorsport CAE version, CAE shifter. Nice. So there's a logo on there. Hard Motorsport used to sell CAE shifters. They don't anymore, and they collaborate at the time to make that. And yeah, it's a little grayish green, a little red, a little different than a normal silver gray that they sell.
Special color, I guess.
Just a special color. Yeah. You know, I like to be a little overdone and different.
Yeah, looks neat.
Yeah. Has heater, no AC, push to start, so that's cool.
No radio.
No radio, but I do have power locks, so that's cool.
Yeah. So what do you listen to? What do you do when you go to the track?
They call it Samsung Buds. I almost said AirPods, but
I don't
have iPhone. Sorry, but no, Samsung Buds.
What about the roll bar here?
Roll bar, I think it's Kirk. It's an older
it says Kirk
roll
on there.
bar.
What's here? Battery kill?
That's a solenoid for the kill switch. It's just anti-gravity. It weighs like 5 pounds with a Melee design battery mount.
Okay.
Actually, that battery mount's designed for their hill climb cars.
Wow.
I was like, it'll be fine for a track car then.
Looks beefy.
It's nice. And like you take it off, it's just a pin and pops up. That pin locks really well too. It does not even lose. Normal people would cut out the trunk to create more airflow on the bottom. But since I drive this car to track, I put 2 wheels back here, one down there, one on top, and then 2 more in the front. And then I have a full set of wheels.
Yeah.
AST mounted there, also carbon 3D printed on the side. And your typical Mason Engineering rear brace.
Very cool.
Simple, effective. All the bushings have been done. Oh, one thing cool about this car, I think last year, Jarek JMP built me a differential for this car. 373, I believe it's 6 clutches with that variable ramping from Racing Diffs. And then all Condor Speed Shop, solid bushings on in the car.
What about the arms?
Rear camber arm is SPC. Front control arm, stock. Control arm bushings is from Condor Speed Shop. Tie rods, all stock. Trailer arm bushings, all Condor Speed Shop. The car is mainly stock when it comes to those arms.
Yeah.
Ideally though, next setup, because I drove this damn thing, is SLR arms. Because stock 95 rack with SLR arms, it's quick. It's not too quick like a Z3 or Twitchy, but it feels really good. Or I could just put a Porsche EPS in this thing and just call it a day. That's too much work.
How much does the car weigh?
Car without me is about 26.
26.
600 pounds.
Okay. Well, do you have any goals?
Don't blow it up.
Okay.
Don't blow it up, or hopefully, but not too much on this. Obviously, the shop's been keeping me busy, so I haven't been really focused too much on the track side as much I was a couple years ago. You know, get the shop running first, and this car, hopefully, ideally, if I could, with street tires, I'd try to get it to like a 53. 52 might be pushing it, but I think for sure sub 55, but 53 would be ideal with how it is right now. I can always go lighter, but you know, just more seat time, I'll get there.
All right. I'm just gonna ask you a series of questions.
Yeah.
S2000 versus E36.
I would still keep the E36.
Okay.
E36 are just feel more nimble, feels more planted to me. That's why I chose it. But we also have a shop that does E36s, so it's just all the homies have E36s, so we're just staying E36. It just looks cooler in my opinion. Like I like sharp lines, I like boxy cars.
E36 versus E46 then?
Personally, I would go E36. Like being a small dude, E46 feels like a boat to me in a big room. I'm just like, But I'll take, like Bailey's car, S54 and E36.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate thing.
Ultimate combination,
Ultimate
right?
combination. Yeah. Like E36 just super easy to work on.
What's your dream car?
997.1, neither GT3 or an RS. I mean, ideally you get an RS, but that's pushing it. Realistically though, it would probably be like, I don't know, a Chevy 2500.
Any shout outs?
You know, my own shop, Motorsports Hardware, Race Cars Unlimited. Ryan specifically gave me a lot, done a lot for me to get me here this far. So that could have been a nurse, dude. But obviously all the other people along the way that I've met, you know, starting from my buddy Tim, AJ, Amir, you know, this Jeff Kyle, Jarek, JMP, Charles, SDC, great track days. Definitely go there. That's where I got the most seat time, actually, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, there's a lot of people I could shout out, but you guys know who you are. I'd give you a whole list, but it'll be at another 30 minutes.
Any final thing you want to say?
Finally got my Sub 2 Club sticker from Peter because I kept forgetting, you know, if you guys need wheel studs and spacers, you know, hit me up. Or if you guys need any BMW or any, we actually do a lot of different cars too. You know, just come by the shop, you know, let me know what you guys need and then I'll help you guys out. For
sure. Thank you, Cecil.
Of course.
Hopefully I'll see you when you sub 155 again.
Well, you can drive the car next. You drive it next. If the car I need someone else to drive the car that's faster than me to put like a fast time. And you know, Bailey, whoever, Amir, Jarek, whoever wants to drive it, Peter, you can drive it too. Just someone drive it faster than me so I can know what this car does.
I think Bailey needs to drive this.
I know, I need Bailey to drive it.
Thank you so much for your time again.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's always a pleasure.
All right.